What's going on, everybody? Welcome into another Sick podcast collab. Shout out to the Sick Media team for having us. It's a little Colts Steelers mashup today. I'm Mike Nicastro. That's Jordan York football. We're joined by Clyde the Glide and Big Pete over
He's running
there.
through
Of
brick
course,
walls already.
bringing the
Podcast
Colts
hasn't even
knowledge.
started yet.
I love it. Yeah, he's going with some different backgrounds. It's like a little Zoom background. I'm ready for you to pull up one of those cats, like those talking cats that jump on Zoom and throw everybody off. But we got a big matchup this
I'm
week.
sorry, but we're not those sissy ass Titans. You ain't gonna see no cats
Wow.
here.
Oh
Man.
man, for anybody
I
who doesn't know
I
the
like these guys
context,
already.
our team back in the studio are big Titans fans, so there's some context right there. And a huge win for the Titans this week, beating the Dolphins in what is just a weird AFC conference overall right now. Some of the better teams taking L's, and obviously a team this weekend that takes an L in regard to the Steelers and Colts is going to have a tough time getting into the playoffs. Both teams 7-6. Steelers currently in the wild card picture. Stop me if I'm wrong. Are the Colts, where are they at? Are they 7 seed?
7.
So the Colts in the wild card picture currently as well. It's a battle between two playoff teams coming off of losses. Fellas, let's talk about your loss last week to the Cincinnati Bengals. We'll start with whoever wants to chime in. Seems like a lot went wrong in a very winnable game.
Yeah, so here's the deal, man. We can sum this up. Gus Bradley scheme. Terrible. So we'll definitely talk about this on our show at a different time. But my thing is there's no adjustments that are ever made. And I've been making this point all year, basically. There's effort plays. I mean, the Colts are top 5 when it comes to sacks. I think we were second coming into last week. Of course, we didn't record one last week. And there's been plays when, guys are out of their mind making a pick six. Kenny had two in one game a few weeks ago. Rodney Harrison got another one. Moral of the story is it's the effort of the players, not the scheme. So what I'm seeing in this loss that happened this past Sunday was Cincy overloads one side, gets the one-on-one matchup over there. There's no help. Big 60-something yard screen for a touchdown. Other runs that were broken off for big gains. Isolating one corner, rookie corners on both sides. Isolating them against, experienced receivers, Chase and Higgins. No adjustments by Gus Bradley. No pressures. It's painful to watch. So that's why we lost that game. Honestly, when a team is really better than you personnel-wise, and then they also come in and out-scheme you, you really have no shot. And that's exactly what happened on Sunday. Like, out-schemed, better personnel, just sat there and took it.
I think Clyde hit it on the head when he said there was no changes. Now, me and him, we've been bumping heads for a couple of weeks about the scheme and the defense. But when your defense is getting thrashed and you come out of halftime and make 0 changes, that thrashing is going to continue. I don't give a shit who you have on the defensive side of the ball. I don't care how superstar they are. You're going to get your jaw smacked.
Right.
If you don't make changes.
Yeah, that's it. It's a nutshell. Now, you guys,
Go ahead, Jordan.
you guys played the Cardinals last, right? Is that your last game?
Yeah, we like to
Patriots.
forget the
That'll ring a bell. There you go. Yeah.
We would like to forget the last 2 games. Patriots,
Oh, God.
Cardinals, two of the worst teams.
Yeah, do that. I'm gonna
in
let y'all take
football. And yeah, it's rough. It's like I said. I mean, I kind of like from the outside looking in, like obviously we know how everyone is in Pittsburgh right now. They're in an uproar. Obviously the firing of Matt Canada, coming off 2 losses, like Mike said, this is 2 playoff teams. We have Mitch Trubisky at quarterback. I would love for him to play like he's worth $9 million a year, but unfortunately he just hasn't found his rhythm. He had a good second half in last week's game, but honestly, it looked like rookie Mitch out there. It was just, I mean, he even said it himself. It's just you can't. It's inexcusable. And then your defense, they've been the cornerstone all year for us, but they let up that 21 points, and then you're playing from behind. So it's really, that was in the Arizona game, I think. But I try honestly. These last 2,
Both
it's just
games.
been
They
going
got
into each other.
behind both games.
Yeah, the same
It's a
one. So
2-10
it's like when
team.
some teams can play good from behind. The Steelers were one of them. Like when Kenny Pickett was healthy, like we would play good, in the second half or the 2-minute, drill, as they like to say. But at the end of the day, I really don't know where my confidence is in this team. I mean, you get hot at the right time. You know, the Steelers won the Super Bowl as a wild card before. I think this team is it's just a sad all around. I don't even know a word to really describe it, but I think that, you know, like Tomlin said, it's like you got to take it one game at a time, and you know, this is the next game. I hope that this is a spark for us, but you know, on your guys' end, you know, you have Minshew mania going on. I honestly wanted in the
Didn't have it
offseason
last week.
yeah, I understand. I think he's just like, he's kind of like a Ryan Fitzpatrick, Fitzmagic, they like to call him, just because, like, you know, the dude's just easy to root for at the end of the day. And I really wanted the Steelers. You know, I liked him as a option, but and obviously Richardson, met him at the combine too. Great guys. So you guys really got a good. It was tough to see him go down. But if we're talking right now, I just can't pinpoint where the Steelers are as a football team. I mean, their offense is absolutely atrocious. Stephen A. Smith said it, I think, this weekend. He said he has zero confidence, and that's his team, and you know how he is. So yeah, man, it's just not good times on your end. Like, you know, I think you guys are kind of right where you expected, maybe even a little bit better. As far as, you know, still being in playoff contention. I think that everything that you guys, you know, went through, I think that's pretty for us. You know, I don't know how we, you know, won the games that we did. I couldn't tell you. But
so the frustration for us though, like, and I know what preseasons, you know, projections were. I think, you know, Adam Rank had us winning 4 games, something like that. But coming into this, or 3, whatever.
3.
But coming into the season, the issue was, well, there was a positive. Positive was we had one of the weaker schedules based off of last year's outcomes, right? So that was a positive. Now the negative was starting a rookie quarterback. How's that going to go? Bunch of other pieces. Jonathan Taylor not there, whatever.
Yeah.
But as you've watched these
you guys been, it kind of makes me feel a little bit better.
Yeah, it's like watching these 14 weeks, and you never want to say woulda, shoulda, coulda, but man, this team could we could easily be shit 9 and what is it, 9-3 or 10-4, whatever the damn shit would have been. Like the Browns game is the one that comes to mind. The Rams game, though it started bad, that comes to mind. The Saints game, like, and it's just crazy how, like, you know, like I said, every week in the NFL is any given Sunday. So the games that we won, honestly, like I was saying on our show, we should have won. These were low budget teams. Now we play a Bengals team that's been in the conference finals the last 2 years. No, they don't have Joe Burrow, but they're still a solid squad. We get our asses whipped. So you are what you are. You know what I mean? That's what it breaks down.
I mean, and I think that the Colts and the Steelers are two somewhat similar teams. Just simply because, like, you know, everything that we've been through, obviously injuries and stuff like that. But it's like, I really think, like, I kind of forgot about the whole Jonathan Taylor thing. Like, that was like a whole saga in the beginning of the season, and kind of to you know, change it to that. Has he, like, where's his health at? He's healthy. Like, what are you guys hearing? Like, everything's good to go.
Well, I mean, Pat's a hometown guy, meaning he's still in Indy. Right now, he's doubtful for this game. The projection after the thumb injury was 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay.
This will be week 3, I think, now. So we'll see after this week because IR potentially wasn't talked about. It still hasn't been talked about, but who knows how these things progress, right? If the team starts to slump, why bring them back? You start dealing with that type of situation. So we shall see. But this game is heavy on us because as we started the show before we actually went and recorded, it's like we haven't beat you guys since 2008. Like we're 0-8 the last 15 years. It's insane. Like,
wow, it's really been that long.
Bad. Like, yeah, it's literally.
Does that go back? I don't know. This might show my age, but the Manning.
Yeah.
So that was right. My guess was wow.
It was like,
well, we also won the playoff game in 2008.
Yeah, exactly.
That was 06.
06.
No, that was 05.
What was the one
that
with Ben tackle on Harper?
That was Vanderjagt. Yeah, that was when the Steelers won the Super Bowl the first time. I'm sorry.
Sorry to bring up bad memories.
That was the stupidest game ever. Bettis fumbles. Nick Harper picks it up. He gets caught by Ben Roethlisberger, and the most accurate kicker at the time in league history kicks the shit halfway down I-70. Like, what's going on?
Idiot kicker.
Oh my god, it's insane, bro.
All right, guys, I'm going to break in
aiming for the field goal on that one.
Yeah, go ahead.
Break in, and then I'll toss it to Big P. I want to let you guys know of one of our proud sponsors. Can you guys all believe we're this deep into the NFL season? It's absolutely crazy. So we need to make every second count. With DraftKings Sportsbook, you can make the most of every single game day. Bet on your favorite teams for a shot at winning big bucks. New customers can score 150. Yeah, that's a lot of cash flow right there. That'll get you some serious Christmas gifts if you're still procrastinating. 150 in bonus bets for betting $5 on any matchup. Get on the action with DraftKings Sportsbook, official sports betting partner of the NFL. Download the app now and use code 6sports. New customers can score, once again, 150 instantly in bonus bets. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with the code 6sports. Yeah. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
I don't win, so I maybe don't need that number, but I've lost enough to maybe call that number.
Then you need the 1-800 you need, man.
Because I'm just saying, like, I lose like small every week. So does that count? Like,
well, let's not use Clyde as an example. Let's talk about success stories for people that want to sign up for DraftKings. I know Jordan has had success betting the under in some Steeler games this year. So there you go. Get on his Twitter, get yourself some picks. The Steelers have been pretty consistent at hitting the under, that's for sure. But maybe some points this weekend. Who knows? With a struggling defense,
this is
at least
the most,
in Indianapolis.
Because I'm gonna, I have a few more questions, and I'll throw it back to Mike. This is the most unpredictable Steeler team that I have witnessed, and I'm old, but I'm not that old, in my entire lifetime. If someone who dissects the Steelers like me and Mike on a weekly basis and go and rewatch film and just try and figure out what is going on and to pinpoint it. Obviously, we know the offense is bad. Why? You have playmakers. You kind of talk. We were crowned the preseason kings going into the season. Kenny Pickett's 5 for 5. George Pickens is Randy Moss, which I'm sure he can be. But there's just it's deeper than that. Players are calling out players. It's just really a lot of turmoil in Pittsburgh right now. I really do think that they can right the ship, but at the same time, it's very tough for me to think that they could do it with who they have right now. They need a leader. I mean, Cam Hayward's a leader, TJ Watt's a leader, but you need everyone to be on the same page. And I honestly think sometimes that not even the coaches. Obviously, we talked about the Matt Canada firing. We thought, we had one good game, over 400 yards. I think it was 53 or 54 something games where our offense was just absolutely atrocious. But yeah, and then you get that one game against the Bengals, and now Jake Browning looks like, Joe Namath. And I mean, you guys know, so that's what I really can't even pinpoint anything at this very point. Like if the questions that you have is everything is like, we don't know what to expect. The defense might score more than the offense.
I want to throw it over to my guy, Big P over there. I think from a Steelers perspective and maybe a national perspective of us that aren't as locked into the Colts, see a defense that's been struggling, and then you hear a name like Shaq Leonard, who's been just an absolute beast in this league for a very long time, is now wearing different color uniform. Tell us a little bit about what the hell is going on there.
Clyde didn't like it.
No, Clyde don't like the whole thing, but I believe in layers in life, so I won't take anything at face value. I will strip layers down until I can actually find the truth. This particular case, since we don't have no flies on the wall and the GM's office, we're never going to figure out what it came down to. Now, our best guess is Leonard and Gus Bradley had a falling out, and Bradley won. So they got rid of Leonard. But on a more closer part of the surface, I see $100 million player not producing. Okay. Now, for whatever reason, that the 2 back surgeries, the missed time, you can blame it on whatever you want, but the optics that I'm seeing is I've got a guy I'm paying $100 million to that is not producing, when I've got younger guys that aren't even making 3/4 of what I'm paying him produce, with a lower snap count. So between all that being said, Gus winning out, it was time to let Leonard go. He was not, and this is Clyde's favorite part, he was not fitting into Gus Bradley's scheme. He wasn't.
You disagree, Clyde?
Oh, in a big way. Don't ask him anything about Leonard.
Because you know what? We're gonna end up firing Gus Bradley's ass, right? And then it's gonna be like, oh, so you cut an all pro just to fire the fucking DC. That makes no sense. That means
Right.
shit.
So why let
Dude,
him win?
yeah, we're 25th in scoring, and we're like 26th in total defense. Like, bro, like the shit's not good, despite having a high number of sacks that are not coming off of blitzes and all the other things. That's just effort to me, right? And we talked about that at the beginning, so I'm not gonna recalibrate that. But one thing I'll do to throw it back to the Steelers and going back to your point up top, which I couldn't believe that I saw. I think it was 2 weeks ago. It was George Pickens talking about the leadership, like not being George Pickens. George Pickens has been bullying people and blocking since back at Georgia, and like seeing him quit on a couple plays, seeing him angrily take his helmet off and just be like, F what's going on out on the field, and like. I'm like, wow, like from a Mike Tomlin team, like I've never seen. I mean, again, I don't follow the Steelers like you guys, of course, but
Yeah,
he's always the motivator. He's always like different, has a different edge. You know what I mean? When it comes to coaching, I'm like, and when you have that showing, like you said, something's missing. Something key is missing.
Yeah.
So
See, that's the question. That's the question I want to. That's the question I want to ask you guys. Do you feel like Tomlin's lost that locker
Something's
room?
key is about to be missing too, because I'm gonna let Jordan York depart, go to his Christmas party. JY, jump off of here. Appreciate
I can go till 5. Yeah,
Happy holidays.
We'll definitely have to do this
what
again.
happened? We're 16 minutes in. Go to your damn party.
No, trust
you
me,
make
man.
me look stupid now. Go to your
No.
party.
I didn't know because I wanted to give my
your Pickens. You want your Pickens steak. All right.
My shirts in the
Tell Alyssa
in the dryer
you're skipping the party. I'm gonna text Alyssa, and if I get in trouble for this, you're wearing this.
Right,
not me.
I'm on like I'm on a strict regimen right now. Anyway,
Well, I guess not
Clyde,
so much.
Hey man, I like doing this, so
yeah, absolutely.
So I could do this. Let me do this for 8 hours today. But anyways, I think that. And I picked the Steelers to win the past 2 weeks. So hopefully I really think that the Steelers are going to lose this game. I think that Tomlin right now is being stubborn with Mitch Trubisky. I think that I'm not saying that Mason Rudolph is the answer to, all your problems, but I just think you have to give the guy a chance. Mitch has shown absolutely nothing. I think that deep down, like if Mason Rudolph came in, I tweeted it out today, I think that it would make the coaching staff look foolish if he succeeded because he's been inactive for pretty much all of the season and, whatever. But I'm going to go 21-13 Colts. And
I see. You had to get your prediction in there before you jumped.
That's why I wanted to jump on.
I see. Okay,
and I really appreciate you guys. And
absolutely,
we can have some fun banter going back and forth on Saturday. Actually, Mike's getting married, so
let's go. We'll see if she says yes.
Man,
so we don't know. We don't know just
Congratulations.
It's a wedding during football season.
That's a great point. They flexed it.
Every Steeler game gets flexed.
He said they flexed it. They did flex it.
I posted on my Twitter. I said they flexed the game into my wedding day. What should I do? Should I go through with it? And like 90% of votes were like no. They were like, can you flex out of the wedding?
Wow.
Hey, just go to you, boss.
I might have to leave on that.
Breast pocket.
A lot of people said exactly what you said. They said who gets married during football season, so on and so forth. So I might be in the doghouse on Sunday. Yeah, Jordan, I'll see you soon. I'll take your guys' questions. I know. Well, I'll start with Jordan. He's gone. I'll start with George Pickens, and Pickens is incredibly emotional, and it definitely can be a pro and a con for sure, right? You love the passion on one end. He really does want to win, but with that comes, he wants to win with significant production as well. There's no other way around it. You want a guy though who's that passionate and wants to win football games. Absolutely. But when the ball's not coming his way, sometimes you do see him taking plays off, and that's an absolutely huge red flag. And it also goes back to Mike Tomlin for sure, because if you are this master motivator, if you are this coach who needs your players to be at 100 on every single play, even when you're throwing a block, even when you're out there doing a half pick play or something, right? And you get them at 60% or 50%. That's on the coach to a large degree, because he's a young guy. He needs refined, right? He still needs that tutelage. And clearly something is missing right now. I don't think Mike Tomlin has necessarily lost the locker room, but he's getting pretty damn close. When you have a guy like Minka Fitzpatrick, who is wise beyond his years, he's generally a bit more reserved. He came out after this last game and basically said, guys aren't working for their paychecks. They think shit is going to get handed to them just for showing up. That, once again, I think is a direct reflection of Coach Tomlin as well. So, yeah, man, there's trouble in paradise if you can't tell.
We understand. Trust me.
If you can't tell. I mean, this is a team, that had a chance to be 9-4. 9-4, guys. You got to beat 2-10 teams at home.
Yeah, that's insane. It's insane.
2-10 teams.
See, to me, what you just said, I think is another layer to the Leonard situation.
Oh God, can you not?
No, I can't. I can't.
You tell me not.
But I'm not going to stop.
Pat. Go ahead, Pat. Fuck.
No, now you done made me lose my thought.
Excellent. Good shit. Because I don't want to talk about it.
You're a hater.
Damn.
Hey, I would have taken Darius Leonard. For what it's worth, Shaq Leonard. I wanted him to be a Pittsburgh Steeler. That's something else that we've been hit by is we have 3 middle linebackers injured, which has not helped. But I am not going to sit here and play the injury excuse game because half the damn league is injured, and most of it are better starting quarterbacks like talking Joe Burrow, Aaron Rodgers, so on and so forth down the list. So there's
a quarter of the starting quarterbacks are done for the year.
Yeah.
In this league, a quarter of the starting quarterbacks,
including your guy, including Anthony Richardson.
Ours.
So,
yeah. And now, old boy from Chargers, just
Herbert.
Yeah,
Herbert. Yeah, he's out rest of the season now.
Yeah. I mean,
man, the list is extensive.
It is.
If I drafted a quarterback on fantasy, they're on IR.
They're hurt.
Yeah, they're
Sean Watson, another one.
You're a curse. Yeah, exactly. And and the thing with that too, I think they were mentioning like if the playoffs started, I think it was last week, they were saying something like 6 of however many playoff teams would be walking into there with a backup of some sort, whether that's second string, third string, whatever. Because Flacco got picked up off of the fucking off the trash heap and came in. He's looked pretty solid. Now he's back on the practice squad. It's insane what's happening around the league, bro. Like he looked solid in both games, right? He didn't beat the Rams, but he won on Sunday, beat the Jags, and like now he's back on the practice squad, but he doesn't want to be traded for what it's worth. He said he'd rather be here. It's weird, 38 years old. So, I mean, any given Sunday, you do what you got to do to win. I mean, there's been times when we've talked about, I don't know how loud it got, but when Minshew had it bad because they lost 3 in a row, multiple turnovers, like, do we go and look for somebody else? But we stuck with them because the soft part of the schedule came up. And I always say, like, you are what you are. So we won 4 straight games, but those teams we were supposed to beat. I mean, you're supposed to beat the Panthers, you're supposed to beat the Patriots, those things like that. But then we play a solid team and look what happened. So I'm not knocking Minshew. I appreciate what he is, but as P always says, there's a reason that he gets paid backup money, right? So, absolutely. And that's kind of where this team is with controlling your destiny over the next 5 weeks. It's a little scary because ultimately we got to play Houston again, and they're hot, except for what happened to them on Sunday, and they got blasted. I mean, I think fucking Stroud had 91 passing yards, right? Like what?
Yeah,
like you never expect that. But
then
negative 0.81 points.
Yeah, I mean,
Jets have shut down a lot of good quarterbacks
they have.
this year.
Sauce Gardner is really that guy. Like I don't know if people really talks about, but he's really that dude. Like there's no messing around when it comes to who's the best corner in the league right now. It's Sauce Gardner. I'm not even doing anybody else. You know what I mean? But with that said, though, you look at how this plays out, because you're right. Anybody can really even the top dogs. And as much as the NFL, I'm sorry, I'm going to put some spin on this. The NFL really wants to push Buffalo up there. They really want Josh Allen and the boys in there. We all know that. But they're right now, they sit at 8th or 9th. So they're on the outside looking in. But even Kansas City, the fucking Dolphins last night, even the Ravens,
Jacksonville.
Yeah, Jackson. None of these teams are oh my God, like if you get in the playoffs, you got a chance. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I'll see it. You know what I mean? Like Pat Mahomes never playing on the road, and this could be this potential first year playing on the road in the playoffs is insane, first off. But that's a wild stat to know. Like this dude has never played a playoff game outside of Arrowhead. But that could potentially happen this year. And it's just an interesting and fun time, even though our teams are kind of mid. But it's 7 teams that are 7-6 right now in the AFC or some shit like that.
Something that shook me to the core, guys, is if you would have told me back in week 4 or 5 that the Denver Broncos would be 1 game back of the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC West with 4 games to go, with the win over the Chiefs under their belt as well a couple weeks back, I would have told you that you are insane.
Smoking crack.
Look at that. That is right there, a direct reflection of how crazy this damn league has been this year. All right, I know we're 25 minutes in. Let's get to some predictions.
Okay.
Big P, what are you thinking right now? You hit me with whatever sauce you got.
24-21. I think it's going to be a close
Pittsburgh,
game.
right? No, I'm kidding.
No. Even if I know we're going to lose, I ain't going to say we're going to lose. I'll never go against my guys, ever. But I do think it's going to be a close game. For the simple fact is, you guys have troubles on your side. We have troubles on our side. Whoever figures out a little bit of the trouble and fixes it before Saturday, that's who's going to win. But I want to also add, if any Steeler fans are going to the game in Indy, you guys are welcome to come tailgate with us.
Nice.
Absolutely welcome. No trash talking, none of that shit. Just come, have some shots, drink some beer, eat some pizza sliders, good camaraderie, good football talk, good people.
So what is a pizza slider?
Oh shit, we've got a chef on staff, Bubba.
Yeah, bro.
Pizza slider? It sounds like a waste of a. Is it just marinara cheese and bread?
I don't know. You got to talk to our chef.
It's got all kind of shit: onions, pepperoni, other types of meat. Onions,
okay, that sounds fire.
Yes, it's legit. You don't fuck around on an anvil, man. Come on.
We don't. Hey,
we don't fuck around. I'm gonna have to cancel my wedding and head up to pizza.
Hey, wait. We're not gonna. Hey, we don't want no women coming after us because you made a bad decision, boss.
Don't cancel the wedding. Flex the wedding.
Flex it.
That good call. Right.
Flex Sunday.
But no,
night
if
game.
You guys are out there watching and you're Pittsburgh fans, and you do want to tailgate. Everybody's welcome at our tailgate.
Sweet.
Absolutely.
That's wonderful.
Just no
what do you got,
talking.
So I am fucking hate it or love it with this team all year. And every time I've picked us to win, guess what? We've lost. And every time I pick us to lose, we win. So we're losing this
Colts.
week. Oh, nope. I'm taking the Steelers. First off, we haven't beat you since 2008. I already hit that point. But I'll go. We were scoring over 20 for the longest, so I'll still give us that. So I'll say 23-20. Pittsburgh.
Okay. I'm before we depart, I'm going to take the Pittsburgh Steelers, not because I think this is a football team that's going to go anywhere the rest of the season, but just because this is kind of what they do. They always seem to have a few games where they look like the sky is falling, doom and gloom, and then Mike Tomlin out of nowhere brings them back at the end of the season. They find a way to finish over 500 or get the last wild card spot. Last year's team was 2-6, missed the playoffs by a last-second field goal that went in the Jets-Dolphins game. The year before, they somehow made the playoffs with Big Ben in a rocking chair. They're going to find a way to hang around somehow, and it'll start this week with a road win it's going to be a weird-ass game. I can see a couple pick sixes. I'm forecasting I don't know. A couple missed field goals. I just have a feeling it's going to be one of those games where we look back and be like, what the hell just happened? I'll go 17-16 Pittsburgh. And yeah, if you guys lose to Mitch Trubisky, you guys can't show your face on this podcast again.
I'll tell you what, real quick before we get out of here. Here's the deal. I know that you guys have Jaylen Warren on your show, and that's awesome. But I'm telling you right now, players like him are key to this game because we cannot stop the screen. Look what Chase Brown did last week. So if y'all get him in space, it'll fucking be a nightmare for the Colts all day. So get him in space.
Wonder if Shaq Leonard would help that.
Yeah, probably. But you know what? We cut all pros around here.
We haven't been able to stop the screen in 7-8 years. No. Shaq Leonard would not have stopped no damn screen either.
Yeah, okay. Man, he only supports Gus Bradley because he partially looks like him. That's why.
Hey man, he's got the goatee, the bald head, smooth looking cat.
Got the belly, he got the fucking belly.
Smooth looking cat for sure. Hey man, put a Colts
I got something else for you too, jackass.
I told him that in Germany. Sneak onto the sideline, bro.
Sneak onto the sideline. Yeah, we'll be looking for you, man. Covered in marinara sauce because those pizza sliders or some shit. Covered in
Is
sauce.
TJ still going to be in concussion protocol?
It's a great question. We have TJ in the concussion protocol, and Alex Highsmith are two really important outside linebackers. Of course,
right.
TJ, in my estimation, best defensive player on the planet, like Mike Tomlin said.
Absolutely.
I think the extra 2 days is going to help. They played Thursday night last week. I'm leaning. I think that they play because of the extra time off and the fact that, listen, if they're cleared by the hair on their chinny chin chin, they're going to play. It's crunch time. This is 4 games left. They're in a playoff race. It's not time to say, hey, listen, let's take a week of caution, even though I don't want to downplay the significance of such a risky, severe injury. But I would lean towards them being,
And I thought Gardner
TJ
was
especially playing.
last week too.
You got to send that dude out there until he's drinking or eating from a straw the rest of his life.
We did last week. He got concussed in the very first play, and they put a dark visor on him and said, "Go back in."
Oh fuck!
So, Dead, I'm not even messing with you. I'm not even kidding. They said, "What symptoms?" No, I'm being facetious in case anybody finds this clip. I'm kidding. I trust medical. I'm not a doctor. I stayed at a Holiday Inn Express, but I'm not a doctor. Yeah, my ass. All right, guys, it's been a pleasure.
For sure. Absolutely.
It's been a pleasure, man. Let's do it again, of course. As Big P and Clyde, can't wait. Colts Steelers, go get yourself some sliders, pizza sliders if you're in town. We appreciate you guys for jumping on a sick podcast collab. Colts Steelers. I'm going to talk of some sponsors real quick from the Sick Podcast. Steelers Crazy. I want to thank everybody out there for rocking with us. Of course, Shoppy ends over here. But let me start over here, of course, with none other than Steel City Wheelhouse. It is where the bar is set. Tires for all cars, trucks can now be purchased online at steelcitywheelhouse.com. Financing is available. It is where Jaylen Warren, Steelers running back, goes for all of his car needs. You just heard, of course, them shout out Jaylen Warren. Hopefully we catch up with him this week. I think him, like a lot of us, are mourning this loss. But we'll, I say that half kidding. We'll find out and have an update for you at some point over here as the Steelers get ready for a huge game against the Colts. If you need to relax a little bit and you can't make it to the tailgate to have sliders, have some beer at home. Get yourself some Stoney's, okay? It's not a run-of-the-mill mass-produced beer. This is an absolutely fantastic beer. Plenty of hops. Raise your standards. Taste the difference that Stoney's beer can deliver. Jordan, he's always drinking them on the show. That's why I think he left today early, not to go to a Christmas party, but start drinking his Stoney's on the couch and then maybe get dragged to a Christmas party. Absolutely delicious. So we appreciate them as well. We appreciate you guys for watching us today. Make sure you follow Twitter, SickPod Steelers. Subscribe to us as well as our great Colts podcast and every other podcast in association with Sick Media. For the team back in the studio, I am Mike Nicastro. Follow me at Mike Dub Sports 1. We'll catch you next time.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sick Podcast on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.